Hey everyone, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're popping the hood on a very specific kind of crypto pitch that's making headlines. Now, if you follow the crypto markets at all, you've definitely seen these kinds of announcements flood your feed, right? They're urgent, they're packed with massive numbers, and they are laser focused on making you take immediate action. So we're going to look closely at a recent piece published on Markets Insider about a new token called PayPay. Now, to be clear, we're not here to evaluate the token itself. Instead, we're deconstructing the actual anatomy of the pitch. How exactly do these articles structure their arguments to grab your attention and drive investment? Well, let's find out.
Right off the bat, boom, notice this massive figure they use to hook you immediately. The press release claims the PayPay presale has already passed the $9.9 million mark. In the marketing world, we call this social proof. By opening with a huge, near 8-figure sum, the authors are basically signaling, hey, a massive crowd of investors has already validated this project. It completely shifts your baseline assumption from, wait, is this project even real, to, wow, look at all the money already flowing into this thing. It's a super deliberate, really effective way to establish authority right out of the gate.
To really understand how this pitch ticks, we'll break it down into 5 key parts: the market hook, the power of early entry, what PayPay actually is, how meme culture meets utility, and finally, those bold price predictions. Let's get into it.
Starting with Section 1, the market hook. This is all about anchoring in momentum. Here's where the authors get clever. They use current, verifiable market data to build a serious sense of momentum. They ground their whole pitch in the recovery of a major, established asset, Solana. They cite its recent $94 price point, $33 million in weekly ETF inflows, and this massive $6.2 million whale purchase, all to establish market optimism. You might be wondering, why do this? Well, if a pitch just talks about a brand new, totally unknown token, it feels pretty risky. But by anchoring the opening paragraphs to a top-tier asset like Solana and backing it up with hard data from CoinGecko and news of institutional inflows, they create this powerful halo effect. It paints a picture of a booming, undeniable bull market that you, the reader, naturally want a piece of.
Moving on to Section 2, the power of early entry, which is basically about timing the market's cycle.
All right, so once they've convinced you the broader market is red hot, they have to convince you that simply buying large cap tokens isn't going to cut it anymore. The announcement claims you literally can't get massive, life-changing returns on large caps at this stage. And to illustrate this, they trace Solana's historical jump from under a single dollar in 2020 all the way to its $293 peak. They explicitly spell out the math for you. An entry at 50 cents would have turned a simple $1,000 investment into over $580,000. It's a vivid, mathematical picture of the ideal early-stage investment. And then they smoothly concede that an entry like that doesn't exist for Solana anymore at its current $54 billion market cap. This brilliantly pivots your desire toward finding the next big opportunity.
And that brings us to the real underlying engine of this section: FOMO, fear of missing out. It is arguably the single most powerful psychological driver in finance. By reminding you of the massive gains you already missed with Solana, the text actively triggers a sense of regret. From there, the pitch positions PayPay as more than just a token. It frames it almost like a time machine. It's pitched as your chance to rectify that past missed opportunity.
Section 3. What is PayPay? Let's look at the ecosystem and features.
So, after winding you up with all that historical FOMO, the release finally drops the actual product on you. According to the text, PayPay isn't just a meme token. It's pitched as a full-blown ecosystem. And looking at the features listed, they are leaning heavily on the biggest crypto buzzwords of the moment. We're talking a zero-fee exchange, cross-chain AI contract checks, and a massive 175% APY on staking. They also make sure to mention that post-launch buying pressure is designed to feed directly back to early holders. This is a classic feature stocking technique. By throwing out multiple complex utilities, AI integrations, and sky-high staking yields, the pitch aims to overwhelm any initial skepticism you might have by presenting a facade of deep technical utility and huge guaranteed returns. Furthermore, to back up that massive $9.9 million presale number we saw earlier, they lean hard on the team's supposed pedigree. The text claims the project is led by a PayPay ecosystem co-founder who previously built an $11 billion token alongside a former Binance developer. Now notice what's missing here. No actual names are provided. In traditional finance, that would be a glaring red flag. But in the crypto space, anonymous developers with hyped-up resumes are practically the norm. The pitch uses these impressive-sounding, even if unverifiable credentials to signal that industry heavyweights are running the show.
Next up is Section 4. Meme culture meets utility, the best of both worlds.
To separate Pepo from the thousands of other tokens out there, the pitch attempts to blend two entirely distinct concepts. This perfectly illustrates their tactic. They directly contrast Pepo against the granddaddy of all meme coins, Dogecoin. The text argues that Dogecoin created its massive wealth despite having, quote, nothing built behind it. Then it positions Pepo as the natural evolution. It claims to bring that exact same viral meme force, but, and here's the kicker, it pairs it with actual underlying technical utility, like that zero-fee exchange, to prevent it from crashing. It's the ultimate best of both worlds argument. They're telling investors, hey, you get the explosive lottery ticket upside of a viral meme, but with the safety net of a real software product.
And finally, Section 5, Bold Price Predictions and Institutional Backing.
All right, this brings us to the climax of the press release, and it's anchored in massive future price targets to really seal the deal. To validate their overarching bull market narrative, the source drops a huge prediction, but again, not for their own token, for Solana. They quote Jeffrey Kendrick, the head of digital assets research at Standard Chartered, targeting a path to $2,000 by 2030. They boost this even further by mentioning mainstream adoption news, like Western Union launching a stablecoin on the Solana network. By associating their pitch with heavy hitters like Standard Chartered and Western Union, the authors borrow massive institutional credibility. It makes the entire crypto space and, by extension, their little presale, feel like an absolute inevitability.
Just look at how aggressive these institutional projections are. But the pitch uses these numbers to make a very specific, fascinating logical leap. They argue that even if Solana hits $300 soon, that 3x return is frankly nothing compared to the exponential, portfolio rewriting potential of a presale token. Do you see what they did there? They are using massive optimistic numbers for a relatively safe asset to make you hunger for even more astronomical numbers from a highly risky asset. Framing a 300% gain as somehow inadequate is a seriously bold marketing move.
The entire explainer ultimately distills down to this, the manufactured ultimatum right at the end of the text. They explicitly warn you that the window is closing, arguing that a simple decision to wait and see is exactly how people missed out on those early Solana gains. It's a high-pressure sales tactic through and through. The message is clear. Act fast because this could launch any day, or spend the next few years regretting yet another missed opportunity to turn a small wallet into 7 figures. They frame the investment not as a calculated risk, but as seizing a fleeting, rare second chance at wealth.
So, as we wrap up this deconstruction, I want to leave you with a thought regarding the actual mechanics of crypto hype. We've just seen exactly how these pitches are engineered from the ground up, grounding the pitch in market data, deliberately triggering FOMO, stacking up buzzwords, borrowing credibility from institutions, and ending with a high-pressure ultimatum. Understanding these structural elements is absolutely crucial for anyone navigating this space. It's what empowers you to read past the marketing fluff and evaluate information objectively. So will projects like this actually deliver on their massive promises, or is it just the exact same marketing playbook, history repeating itself for a brand new cycle? That's the question you have to decide for yourself as you continue your learning journey. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and remember to always keep asking the right questions.
Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe this channel.